Okay, hi everyone. My name's Abby. Thanks for doing our tournament today. So I'm just going to be talking about the games. Um, Not going to give any moves away or anything. So if players are listening, that's totally fine. I'm just going to talk in general about the positions, things I notice, and my evaluation. Who I think has the better position and what might happen. All right, so we'll start with our championship section. Okay, looks like just based on the ratings, looks like some players either it's their first time on Lee Chess or they haven't yet played longer games. So that's why their rating's just 1500. Looks like we do have some strong players. Also recognize some players who've been doing the classes, some of our regulars. So good to see y'all. All right, let's check out board one. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear white has a winning position. And we'll stick around here for just a moment. I have a feeling it's going to end soon. Okay, yeah, so there's nothing black could do to stop this mate. So this is a classic in your face mate, queen next to the king, protected by a piece. It's important for the knight to be there. If there's no knight here, then the king just takes the queen. So you always have to have a piece defending if you want to do this kind of mate. All right, so good game to the players. Oh, that must be from earlier. Okay. So this is board number 2. Yeah, it looks like these players are playing a little bit slower. They've only made 10 moves, whereas the other game was already over. So something I always say, I feel like when you play online, there is a temptation to move a little bit faster because you're not there in the tournament setting where, it's a little easier to focus. You're right there. When you're just at home on the computer, you want to go a little faster, but do your best to still take your time, just like in a real tournament, because you have 30 minutes in a 5-second increment. That's a ton of time. And I'm glad to see these players haven't made as many moves. Looks like they're taking their time more. All right, so let's see what's going on. I'm guessing it was a Sicilian. Yep, okay. So Sicilian defense is when after e4, black goes c5, one of the most common openings. White did c4, little unusual. More common is, well, there's a lot of moves here. Knight f3 is probably the most common, sometimes c3, or even d4 right away. Yeah, so this is an interesting system. I'm not so familiar with this for white, but it looks solid. Same thing for black. Okay, so black is up a pawn. So I feel like I'd prefer black's position, but it's still so early that you can't really tell, which way the game is going to go. Okay. Okay, looks like this game has ended. All right, so white resigned because black's up a rook. Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of material, but, we'd still encourage everybody to play out the game. I mean, otherwise you're just going to be waiting around for perhaps an hour till the next game. So why not play it out? Force your opponent to prove that they know how to win. Yeah, probably white thought they were getting the fork, but the knight was there. All right, so good game. Looks like this one, white's ahead. Okay, this one just getting started. Okay. So we have a couple games that are finished, and then, well, really besides the game that just began, this is our closest game in championship. And perhaps not a coincidence, it's also the game where the players are taking their time. So they're playing well, taking their time on each move, and the game is very close. All right, let's take a look at the other sections. So then we have reserve under 1100. Okay, definitely recognize some names. All right, let's just go in order. All right. Looks like white's up a pawn, but black is very active. White hasn't yet finished development, especially this rook in the corner. So if if anything, I think I prefer black here, despite being down the pawn. Just make sure I counted that correctly. Yeah. So this should be a pretty good game. Keep an eye on this one. Let's see. I mean, if black, lets white catch up in development and get his rooks in the game, then white will have the superior position. But so far, yeah, this is a good move. You want your rooks on open files where there's not a lot of pawns blocking their way. All right, looks like white castled. Probably a good decision. Get this rook out. Okay. All right. Yeah, we have Chess Messi playing black, one of our regulars. Ooh, we might sit on this game for a moment. Okay, so even material. They both castled queenside, which is not something you see a lot. What was? Okay, so we sort of transpose. Not really. Actually, yeah, we sort of transposed into a French exchange. But this looks pretty comfortable for black. I don't think this is what white was exactly going for. Oh, yeah, that's what I was waiting for. Ouch. All right. White pins the queen to the king. I don't believe there's a way to stop it. Yeah, so you always have to ask, what's my opponent trying to do? G4, it looks like white's trying to do something maybe over on the king side. And in fact, the threat was just this tactic. Let's see what did. Okay. Oh man, so black was trying to do the same thing and get their own pin, but looks like white moved it away. All right, so white should win this one, but I definitely encourage black to play it out. Force them to beat you. I mean, it's a queen for a piece. If black can somehow get another piece, then maybe they'll have some opportunities. All right. I like this name, heuristic mind. Okay, so another Sicilian, I'm guessing. Okay, so white chooses a more tamer version. No one yet going for the open Sicilian. Yeah, I mean, well, what? Well, things could change in the next couple moves, but I mean, I definitely prefer black's position. I think just because this bishop is kind of stuck and black's pieces seem a little more active. It's open file. Well, semi-open. Yeah, but to these guys too, please take your time. So usually on Lichess, it's an arena where it's just you play as many games as you can in the allotted time. But here, this type of tournament is a Swiss, like most in-person tournaments. So everybody's going to play 4 games no matter what. And the next round starts as soon as everybody's finished. So there's no advantage to finishing sooner or being the last one. Doesn't matter. Everyone plays 4 games. Yeah, this is what I was worried about for black. But let's see. Did black have something in mind when they gave up that pawn? All right. If we have time, we might go back to this game. So some things going on here. Okay. We have Mochi get low. Definitely seen many of your games. And it looks like White's doing pretty well. This is one I could definitely see going either way. Just because even though White has more pawns, oops, there it is. Black also has a pass pawn. Oops, no pawns in front of it. I mean, obviously White has a pass pawn here and the potential with the 2 against 1 to make another pass pawn. Well, here we go. But again, I'd really encourage, players to take their time, especially in a really complicated position like this. All right, let's see. The temptation is when you get to an end game, you feel like, okay, game's about to be over. Let's just get this over with. But sometimes the game just begins in the end game. Like it's still an even position and you have to figure out the best way to win. All right, this is one I definitely want to go back. Definitely some things both players are missing. And look, it's a hard position. I don't fault the players for missing things. I mean, I miss things. Magnus Carlsen, best chess player in the world, misses things. But the reason I'm sighing is that both players are moving so fast, they're not even giving themselves a chance to find the correct move. Well, hey, it's a lesson. White had multiple ways to win this earlier. But then one final mistake. Okay. So look, tough game, guys. I mean, look at it as a learning experience. But to me, the lesson is you have to take your time. All right, let's just go back and see how White could have won this. And let's just go. So here's where I started watching. Yeah, E6 makes sense. I think even here. No, okay. I mean, see here, I mean, I have to think, what's the best plan? Like, I don't even know. You know what I'm thinking? I'm gonna have to get the analysis up here. I mean, even here, let's try it. This may have been better for Black to do. So I was worried here, and then White can block. Oh, but look, the Black pawn is so close. Oh, Black actually wins. Look at that. And then, of course, the skewer wins the queen. Okay, so already here's an improvement for Black. Probably rook e4. I mean, I have to analyze this a little closer, rather than just sort of off the top of my head. But this looks better. Okay. Even this is not fatal. Oh, so for White, instead of pushing this pawn, I thought this would be pretty good. And the whole idea is like after this, the rook provides like a shield for the king. So if Black's rook tries to come over, and check the king. Well, obviously it can't. Well, maybe this. Actually, yeah, this. Well, it's gonna be really close. Maybe it's not in time. Wait, why was the rook there? Maybe here's something like this. So this would win the rook. Skewer. So black can't take the pawn. Oh yeah, of course. And then check. So I don't know. Actually, probably black should move closer to the pawn. Oh, duh. I was like, I forgot about this guy. All right, yeah, it's a simple win. Well, whatever. So yeah, I mean, black's close enough to help their guy, but I mean, the pawn's going to come to the end. So the rook would sack itself for that pawn and then just promote. All right, so I'm going to stand by this. I think rook d5 was the better move. So the problem is after e7, I mean, they still had a chance to go here. King d7 is no good. Black missed rook check, and that forces the king away, so you just win the pawn. But black went here. Okay. What did white do? White went there. Nope. I think white missed this. I was just calculating, can you promote? But actually, why bother? Just move back. Black's going to have to sack their rook for the pawn, and then you still have this pawn. So, okay. So a6. Now, this should still be a pretty simple draw. Well, all right. This walked into a skewer. Okay, so maybe something like that. Even after all this, oh, yeah, no, you want to move your king closer to the pawn. Should still be a pretty easy draw. Yeah, and then the king can just help corral this guy. Okay, but still, even at this moment, maybe black's winning because white's king is so far. But the last thing you want to do is trade rooks. Then it's easy to see there's no way to catch the pawn. You don't even have to calculate. So at the very least, you want to calculate, all right, let me at least save my rook. I mean, I'm not really sure what to do. Yeah, it's probably pretty hopeless. But, at least you give yourself an opportunity. But yeah, I think black just comes around. But still, better than trading rooks and making it simple. All right. So again, guys, please take your time. I know it probably really hurts to lose a game like this where you're winning. I mean, quickly. I'm guessing white was up most of this game. Yep. And then just to, lose at the very end. That's really tough. Because yeah, white had played so well. Yeah. All right. I mean, it hurts me to see games like this. I can only imagine, how it is for the player. This one. Okay, this game's over too. Yeah, it looks like. Oh, okay. So what happened? All right. I mean, sort of going to a random moment. Things were kind of close here. I think white could have tried to do this, blocking in the bishop. But he took, and that ended up being a blunder, pinning the bishop, and then attacking the pin piece. Yeah, the problem is this comes with check, so then black has time to save the bishop. All right, so good game. That one looked pretty hard fought. Okay. Oh, this one's over too. Okay. All right. Well, if it's over, let's go to a game still in progress. All right. Last section, booster. Oh, perfect. Looks like these guys are about to start their, I'm guessing, the second game. Okay. All right. So we have the bishops opening. Okay, I know the person playing black, Dean, likes to do this opening as black. He's learned some tricks along with it, and also not to fall for certain tricks. All right, we got, whoa, what happened here? What was this opening? Okay, all right, so I wouldn't recommend doing this, like sort of the pawn wall. Okay, so you want to try to move your pawns in the center, because just look at this. If you move the pawn to the side, you attack one square. If you move the pawn to the middle, you attack two squares. It's just that simple. All right, so don't play moves like a4. All right, try to go e4 or d4. Yeah, so here, when I looked at this position, I was like, how did the king end up on e2? If possible, keep your king here to try to get castled later in the game, and instead try to block with like a bishop to get out of check. All right, good to see white develop a piece. All right, and in fact, is white up here? Well, no, it's a piece for 4 pawns, so technically black is still up 1 point, but white's hanging in there. Given the start, this is actually a pretty good result for white. So, okay. All right. Next, we have, cool, 2 of our regulars, Roy versus Huck. Not sure if they've played before. Probably. All right. Okay. Yeah, so maybe black just didn't realize, it wasn't safe to take the knight. It's always good, right before you move, look at if your opponent has any checks or captures. And, just seeing that kind of thing comes with practice. Like, obviously, Huck knows a queen is worth more than a knight. He didn't, do it on purpose. So it just takes practice to see if your piece is protected or not, or if you're moving it into danger or not. All right, cool. These guys. Okay. Let's take a look at what happened here. Yeah, so this is actually not so good to take with the knight, the second knight on e4. Instead, it's better to go d6, then take with the knight. Because what happens is white goes here, attacks the knight on e4, and if the knight moves, knight c6 wins the queen. Okay, so you have a discovered attack, and you're attacking the queen. Black gets out of check, and then you just take the queen. So black didn't fall for that, but they still lost a piece. They're trying to shoo the queen away, and then they hang mate. So all right, now black knows that trap. Okay, so if this happens, then just play d6, sorry. Then you can take. They can still pin you, but then you can just go queen e7, and you get out of the pin as well as guard your knight. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, very good. Black did what's called the fork trick. So players who play white, you don't want to get into this setup, because that allows black to go here and then fork. Now, black doesn't actually win any material. Count the pieces, they're the same. But this is such a good position for black. They get a pawn in the center, farther advanced than white's pawn. They have an open file for their queen. I've played this position a bazillion times for black, and I really like it. I don't know. I'd prefer maybe bishop d6 instead, but okay. Yeah, and this is definitely not comfortable for white. So if you're a white player and you want to, or, if you're playing white and you want to get this structure, here's the way to do it. All right, this is fine. Before going knight f3, just go pawn to d6. Then you protect this. Let's see, pawn d6. Or sorry, did I say d6? Pawn to d3. Then you guard this pawn on e5. Wow, I'm like mixing up all the squares. You play pawn to d3. That protects the pawn on e4. So then on the next turn, you can go knight f3. Because if they try that same trick, knight takes e4, you can just take back with the pawn and there's no fork. But still, again, not a disaster. White should be okay. And then, yeah, okay, cool. This is what we want to see. Very even games, very close games. So white has the better position. Their pieces are more active, especially the rook on e1 compared to black's rooks. So this is an advantage in time. That's white's advantage. They have more pieces out. So let's say white just doesn't do anything for the next few moves. Dean's going to move his pieces out, and then the position will be even again. When you have a advantage in time, you want to try to make threats to your opponent. That way they don't have the time to develop their pieces. And I mean, that's kind of what white did by going queen h5. They threatened the d pawn. What was nice for black is they're able to protect the d pawn and develop a piece. Though, I mean, the problem is this rook doesn't really have much of a future for now. It's stuck behind a pawn. I mean, it could go here or here, but that's also stuck behind a pawn. That's pointless. So we'll see. Okay, so this is booster. All right. Okay. Okay, cool. So it looks like round number 2 will start in a couple minutes. Yeah, and I mean, I'm gonna say this to everybody, please take your time. There's literally no advantage to rushing because everybody plays the same number of games. So I don't know, do your best to get yourself into that tournament mindset. If you can, try to play in like a quiet place where you can really focus. It looks like white should pull this. I mean, not white. Looks like black should pull this one out. Up a queen for a bishop. So there's one game left here. And then booster, I just was there. Couple games left. Oh, right, the even game. Let's call it. Okay, good to see white still thinking after f6. Yeah, this is obviously a critical moment. Oh, there they go. All right, they decide to do this. But sorry, white gives up a piece. Yeah, definitely keep an eye on this. I feel like the closest game we have right now is this game. And again, guys, remember you have 26 minutes. So please just, relax, take your time. And so kind of what I was afraid would happen for white has sort of happened, where, let's see, I mean, I guess, rook d1, can't really fault them for that. It's a good move. But by sort of wasting time here, then black has a chances to get their pieces out, and it will be back to even again. Glad to see, though, white declined the draw, right? I mean, we're here to play, right? So, especially in an even position, why would you take a draw? Play it out. Even if you're in a slightly worse position. I mean, this is, some of the best practice you're going to get until at least, tournaments come back in person. So, use the time wisely. I think, though, most of the danger is past for black. Oh, well, I spoke. How about some of the danger? I mean, I think, well, it's hard to say. I feel like having the queens off the board helps black because there's less threats against the king, especially. But black's gonna have a hard time finding a plan. All right, let's take a quick look at the championship. They probably started their second game. Okay. Some pretty wild games here. Some unusual structures. Okay. Let's just go here first. Another, a Sicilian and the Smith-Morra gambit. Yeah, I really recommend doing this as white. It's a really fun gambit. So you're giving up a pawn, but you get a lead in development. You have a knight out, and you have open files for your queen, open diagonals as well. Sometimes the queen comes here and targets here. Now, black has a lot of, fun things they can do too. So it leads to a fun game. I don't know about bishop d2. Looks a little passive, but it's okay. All right, pretty good game. I feel like white played a little passively. Remember, in the Smith-Morra, you want to avoid trades if possible and try to be a little more active. Like, I don't know, let's go. Yeah, like knight e2 kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I don't like to move pieces away from the center and allow this trade. Let's see, what could white have done instead? I don't know. I mean, white doesn't really have to be in any big rush. You just move the queen out, rook d1. But, it's okay. Well, I just realized I can have this game open here. Oh, by the way, yeah, good move, black. That was probably your best move. And then I wanted to go to that Dean game. Where's that at? If it's still going, so if it was over, that would probably be a bad sign. Oh, well, speaking of interesting games. Oh, what happened here? I thought Black was going to be okay. They got the piece. I mean, yeah, they're a little behind in development. So what happened? Oh, okay. I thought it was worse than it was for Black, but they've only played a few moves. Well, this is a good one, too. We'll see if White can find a way to make up for the piece. And then what happened here? Yeah, knight a4 back here was a good move, threatening the fork. So Dean moves the rook away. Oh, this should be okay. And then they got here. Yeah, this was a pretty good plan by White, right? To go a4 and then b5. Yeah, this knight is so nice. So he took here. Yeah, that makes sense. Wonder maybe this too. Let's see. Okay. So material's still even. But just because it's an even end game doesn't mean it's like a easy draw or a draw at all. Both players could still play this out and learn something about end games. You know, if Black off. Dean, stop offering draws. Just play it out. Even if you lose, I mean, whatever. You're still gonna learn something from the game. Yeah, I like how White declines to draw again and keeps on playing for that win. You know, why not? Honestly, this type of game that starts out even like this, um, in players of this level, really, let's just say below, I don't know, 1700, the position almost never ends up as a draw. Or it might end up as a draw, but somebody missed a chance to win. So it's definitely not over or a draw. Uh, my guess is someone's going to end up winning, but I don't know who it is. I think it's the player who takes their time and really considers their opponent's threats. Okay, so what just happened? Yeah, I mean, rook b1, pretty risky. Give up that pawn, get that pawn. He comes back. I don't know. This pawn is just, I feel like, better than this one. Because this pawn, they're doubled. No other pawn can protect this guy. This one on b5. At least with the d pawn, White can always go c3 and have a pawn protecting it. Yeah, maybe c3 was better. I don't know, though. Okay, so White's a little more active. Okay, let's switching gears, go back to this game from Championship. Oh, right, this was a Smith-Morra game. Yeah, just BTW. If Black hadn't taken here, White was threatening to take and then come down to h7. So he played f5. Yep. Yeah, I feel like, well, not feel like I'm pretty sure Black is doing really well here. They still have that extra pawn from the gambit. They have a beautiful knight. Love having knights on f4 if you're Black or f5 if you're White, because they control the center and they also target the weak square in front of the king. If you can get a queen here, well, can't go there now, but Wait, what? Oh, look at, wait, what just happened? Was I behind or something? No, I must have been behind. What did he do? There. White should have taken the knight and just traded knight for bishop, but he tried to do that. Oh, just what I was predicting. Yeah, the queen's gonna end up here, and the knight's gonna guard it. This checkmate won me hundreds of games. Highly recommend. So good game, guys. You know, I think my advice for the person playing white, you want to play a little more actively in the Smith Mora. You know, don't move your pieces away from the center. For example, that knight e2 move. Take another look at that. I don't think that was the best. Good game. Okay. Okay. Put this in a new window. Oh, he moved? Okay, b5. All right, b5. I mean, we'll see. Always be careful when pushing pawns. They're always a little bit harder to protect each square they move, because they're farther from the home base. You know, by moving this pawn, I mean, it's just by definition a little bit closer to the king, which might come up and get it. We'll see. So by the way, black missed, yeah, I think he did miss this. Check. Rook takes knight. Rook takes. Very close game. All right. Let's go back to the tournament. These guys. Okay. All right, championship. You guys, your third round starts in 4 minutes. Whew. Well, you playing even faster than reserve. All right, what about these guys? Okay. Looks like black was able to get up in this game. So what happened? So white's attack didn't pan out. Yeah, it was good. Oh, yeah. I was like, uh-oh. Oh, that's no good. All right, tough break for white. Man, I feel like white had something here. All right, so they castle. Yeah, this looks fine. Oh, wait a second. Oh, the game's still going. I don't know. I feel like white had some tactics there, maybe on the open E file. Take another look at that. Okay, so that's booster. They're starting. Oh, and these guys. Okay, they're going to start their next game. Well, that's funny. So reserve is actually taking their time more than the championship. So sorry. Oh, that's right. That was that game. Oh, that's right. That was that game. Okay. Have these guys started? No. Okay. So really, we're just waiting on booster. Oh. Oh dear. He already resigned, right? Oh boy. Guys. Rook d5. So I don't know how quickly White resigned if they tried to think about it, but yeah. So what's the lesson here? Maybe Dean set a little trap, thinking he had this discovery, but missing that move. So really hard fought game though. I hope it's a good lesson. I mean, look, White declined the draw twice, and they still ended up losing. So was the lesson they should have taken the draw? No, of course not. White should have kept playing for the win. In fact, if they would have just found this move, White's up a pawn. So, yeah, I mean, look, that's a tough game for White. I would just I think you'll have a little bit of time before the next round. Okay, 5 minutes. And just try to, shake it off, take a walk or whatever, and just be ready for the next game. So I think, are all the sections done at the same time? Wow. All right, well, I'm still going to reiterate taking your time. I feel like we have a couple players doing that. I feel like most people are playing much, much faster than they would if it was an in-person tournament. So, I mean, the idea is for these tournaments to be practice for when tournaments go back. So just treat it like a regular tournament. All right, try to slow down. Just some tips I have for slowing down is before you decide on a move, you should have maybe 3 or 4 possible moves in your head that you're looking at. So even if you see a move that looks amazing, try to at least find a few other moves. 3 I think is a good number of other possible moves. I mean, even if they turn out to be garbage, I mean, at least you won't miss something. And then, of course, I mean, coming up with 3 moves takes time. So that's going to help you slow down and just kind of get you into a good rhythm. I mean, look, I'm also guilty of, when I'm on Lee Chess, I like to play Blitz or Ultra Bullet. Ultra Bullet is terrible, by the way. I think you probably lose 5 rating points for every Ultra Bullet game you play. But if you like it and you think it's fun, not gonna tell you not to do it. But the danger then is when it comes time to like play a longer game, you're still in that Ultra Bullet mindset or Blitz mindset where you're just like clicking out moves as fast as you can. And in the long run, it's not going to help. All right. Oh, geez, the game's already beginning. Oh, I was talking so much, I like missed the openings. All right, we got Jacob, one of our regulars. So Black plays, what is this, the Nimzovich defense? I guess it turned out okay. All right. See where this is headed. Oh dear, who played this? Oh, very nice Goring Gambit. Yeah, Goring Gambit's another one of my favorites. I teach my students, this as well. Perfect. Yeah, so Black, you got to defend against e5. Man, can you play d6 here? Maybe. But yeah, e5, knight moves, and then you hit him with the tactic. Yeah, well, actually, in fact, there's like multiple tactics White could do. Actually, I'm not sure which is the best. I should look it up. You can also go knight g5. You can also go queen d5. Nah, queen d5 not as good. It's queen e7. Yeah, I think knight g5 is a little stronger. And then you do pick up the knight on g4. But regardless, nice tactic to see. All right, so White's in control. All right, a lot of. Oh no. All right, so we see black got in trouble in this variation in at the a different game. So again, don't do knight takes e4. This is your worst nightmare if you're, well, no pun intended, worst nightmare if you're black. Okay, you got to go d6 first, and then you take. Because now queen e2. I mean, white's just, oh, well, they don't win a piece, but do they win a piece? No. Okay, wait, no. They probably should have gone like d4. White's at least going to win a pawn, and it's just bad for black. I mean, okay, things ended up okay here, but they really shouldn't have. All right, we get a pretty interesting endgame. Yeah, I love looking at endgames. I feel like this is where you can really tell who knows their stuff, and also who's willing to try to win. Right? Some players get to the end game and they're like, okay, I'm done. Let's just move as fast as possible or get a draw. And those players, they never end up very good, I have to say. But then the players that really view this as the start of the game and the start of trying to win the game do well. Like literally in the time I've been talking, there's been like 5 moves played. I mean, I just think that's going way too fast. Okay, thank goodness. White was going to fall for the back rank. It would kind of prove my point, though, about moving too fast. I mean, what is even going on? So, black's up a pawn. All right. Yeah, I mean, let's just go back. Let's see what is. Okay. So yeah, bishop d4. Yeah, no. What could they have done? Oh well, all right. Probably rook e1 was not so good. Yeah, maybe just like rook d1, then takes. You can take back with the rook. I don't know. Probably be a little better. I mean, rook e1, it looks good, but I think you are going to lose a pawn. Just trying to think if there's. Well, even here, you can go rook d1, bishop takes pawn, rook a c1, and then maybe push d6. So you get some activity at least. I don't know. I just, you know. Oh my goodness. Ow. What is so many moves? Oh, is this. Oh. Oh. And look, I get that. I get that it's hard. I mean, it's easy for me to sit here and, shake my head. I'm sure, you know, there were strong players watching, some of my games, they'd also be shaking their heads. But the reason I'm shaking my head is not because of the moves that are played, but the fact that both players are just blitzing out their moves. I mean, you're doing yourself a real disservice if you're not at least trying to find the best move and taking your time. Right? I mean, this is what chess is. It's some games are easy, but if you want to become better, the games are not going to be easy. You're going to have to struggle. Like, okay, can we just go back? I mean, there was a ton of stuff that happened that we could probably also talk about, but I literally saw in like 2 seconds, white decided to trade rooks. And you can't catch that pawn. But look, you could just go f3, and maybe white can even win because their king is just so active. All right. I'll stop. So good game. But please, well, take your time. I'll just say it one last time. All right, what do we got here? Oh, right. This was the Goring Gambit game. Yeah, okay. So white's in control. Oops, sorry. All right, so this is more what, we're going for, right? They've only played 10 moves. They're thinking, and we're still in the opening. It's a pretty even position. So we'll sit on this game. Open another browser. Okay. It looks like there's people up pieces up here. Okay. All right, let's take a look. So whenever you look at a new position, always count the material. You know, you don't want to spend 5 minutes talking about, oh, this is such a great square for this piece when the person's down like a rook, because that's then obviously irrelevant. So it is even though, even material. Yeah, I mean, I really like Black's position. They're clearly much more active than White's. White's also not quite done with development. Black's, only has one piece that they need to still bring out. Oh, but Black just dropped a piece. Yeah, remember that bishop was pinning the knight? Ah, dang. So, Black can still come back from this. I mean, it's only a piece. Um, it's too bad though. Black is such a nice position. What was the opening? Okay, cool. All right. Okay. Oh wow, this is a good one. Let me guess, Sicilian? Yep. Whenever a position's really unbalanced and crazy, it's usually a Sicilian. Oh, yes, we get to see an open Sicilian. Sorry. That's knight f3 followed by d4. If you really want to challenge the Sicilian, I think this is the way to go. It's the main line. All the top players play it. Well, most of them, the good ones. All right, we got a dragon variation. Oh no. It's more fun if White Castle's queenside, but okay, fine. What? No, no, no. Maybe bishop e3 or bishop h4. Yeah, bishop d2 is just very passive. Okay. Okay. All right, after some sort of odd moves, White got what looks like an attacking position, but oh, they're gonna lose that pawn. Oh, wait, sorry. Got cat. Oh, so I guess if he take him with the bishop, then bishop takes h6. Yeah, okay, really interesting position. So White has picked up a pawn in the middle of all this. Yeah, I wasn't sure about rook f8. Like, what about going just like rook here? Just doubling up rooks? But okay. Another thing just to have in your brain, bishops are different colors. So normally if everything gets traded off but bishops and pawns, that's very drawish. But if there's still pieces left on the board, it's almost like having an extra piece because the other bishop can't oppose your bishop. So this favors the attacker, which, well, both kings are a little goofy. I guess Black's king is probably a little less safe than White's. But you know what makes up for it though, and why I wasn't sure at first? Black has, such great control of the E file that it kind of makes up for their slightly weaker king. The king's pawns are they've been pushed up one square, especially this pawn is weak, and it's also targeted by the bishop. Okay, this is really good. It's a really good game. Oh yeah, okay. This is from Championship, the very even game. Hmm. All right. Yeah, it's okay if you guys want to watch each other's games, but don't give moves or advice, right? That's not fair. Yeah, it takes. That's what I thought white would probably do. So white's down the pawn, but they have some nice compensation on this file. Okay, this was the only game left. Oops, already. How do I get back? Oh. Oh, right. We didn't look at this game. Oh, good. Another game. Glad to see they've only played 14 moves. It's pretty close, right? Even material. Did white? Oh, no, they pushed G4 later. I don't know. It looks pretty close to me. I mean, white has more space, so maybe they have a slight advantage, but it's pretty negligible. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, interesting. Usually they castle king side, but both players went for the queen side. All right. And finally, booster. Oh my. Okay, cool. Got some. Ooh, all right. Got some nice end games to look at. Okay, looks like white's up a piece in this game, Mr. Champion. White's up in this one, Hangry Cat. Okay. And then we have two end games. Oh, jeez. Please slow down. Oh. So, okay, even position double rook end games. Let's go. So black obviously has an advantage. Look at this great rook. But the game is by no means over. Again, I'm going to make a wild prediction. Somebody's probably going to win this game, despite it being even. And it's probably going to be the player who takes their time. Just a wild guess. Yeah, I mean, Arthur didn't, or not Arthur, he was black. White didn't have such a great choice here. They do want to guard the pawn, and it's like, this is so ugly, but it does protect the pawn. So, got to give him that. And then the other end game, which was really cool, Dean and Roy, both of our regulars. Huh. Oh, this one could be coming to a close. Oh man, that poor knight. He was trying. Yeah, king e3 was a strong move. How did this even happen? Oh, wow. Oh, he took there. Oh, so white was up quite a bit, and then one by one, oh, the pawns left. Oh, so wait, what? Oh, he moved his knight. Yeah, that's like the only move, right? Otherwise, yeah. All right, Dean's hanging in there. Will it be enough? So of course, white's trying to draw, obviously, and black's the one trying to win. Okay, so this is an example though so far. Dean's taking his time, and Roy as well, and I think they're finding the best moves. So here's a case. Even if you don't find the best move, at least the fact that you took your time and tried to look for different moves, that's going to give you the best chance. What hurts is when players are just blitzing, and I just don't understand. Like, I'm just thinking about the tournaments I played in, with maybe one exception. I was never at the top. I was always someone, somewhere in the top 10, but like somewhere in the middle, number 5 or 6. And I'm just thinking, the reason I often did better than where I was placed was I really wanted to win. I didn't care what the position was, if it was exciting or boring or middle game, end game. I would always try to do my best to find the best move and win, no matter how long it took or how much I had to think about it. So it's not just about finding the best moves, it's also about building good habits. I mean, yeah, maybe you don't find the best move because you're just not at that level yet. You're not strong enough, and that's fine. But once you do get better and you have that habit of taking your time and thinking about 3 or 4 moves, then you're going to be in great shape. But if you're always blitzing out your moves, even if you become stronger, that strength is not going to show in your games. You're not going to get better. Yeah, I think King G3 is the best try. Yeah, honestly, I think at this point White's lost. White missed their chance. Instead of King H2, would have been better to go Knight G1. What are you trying to do? Forks the, what's it called? The pawn and the king. I think it's too late now. I mean, Roy still had a chance to go wrong. If he'd promoted, Dean can just sack and then take the pawn. So F2 was necessary. Okay, what's going on that other end game? Hmm. Well, I'm not sure how fast the well, actually, can I see how fast the other moves are played? I think when the game's over, I can see how much time they took on each move. I mean, now White's thinking, which is good. But I think they're now in a losing position. Yeah, I mean, one thing, I think I said this before, where, be careful about just pushing your pawns. Like in this situation, White pushed F4, G5, because now the pawns are harder to protect. Like if you just keep them on F3, I mean, obviously the rook controls this rank now. But let's say the black rook puts White in check or something, then the king can come up and is immediately protecting its pawns. So like we see that in this case. I mean, see the pawns just got taken. All right, hard fought game though, and just based on the time, it looks like White was taking their time. I hope so. So even though it looks like you're not going to win this one, you're at least giving yourself a chance. And when you become better at chess, you're going to have that good habit of taking your time, and we'll get to see how strong you really are. This game's over, right? Okay. All right. So White was able to win this one. What happened in this game? Oh, right, this was that game. See what happened. He traded. Oh no, did he? I was like, oh, yeah, this pawn is pinned, so White picks up a rook. All right, so seeing some good tactics today. What section is this? Reserve. Okay. So Black's still up a piece. Maybe not so easy though. Okay, White's up a rook. This game was over. What happened to here? All right, this game, it was kind of like just getting started. Okay, so White's got a pawn here. Go back to that one. What do these guys do? Oh, okay. So we have, yeah, this player is pretty good. Okay. Yeah, it should be pretty even. I mean, two pieces, a little bit better than the rook. But since the knight's out of play, for the moment, White has a slight advantage. Rook against bishop, more or less. But as soon as this knight jumps back in, I think it's pretty drawish, but if anyone has a chance, Black will probably win. Yeah, I agree. This is a good game. Actually, you know what else? Black has a passed pawn. Yeah, that could be a big thing. Yeah. All right, rook b7, good move. Cut the king off. Get the rook on the open. Not really open rank. What would that be called? Let's just call it a good rank. This is where the pawns are, and it prevents the black king from going to e7. See if black could come up with a winning plan here. Because I mean, I think if anyone's going to win, it's going to be black. Yeah. Looking at the chat here. All right, if you think white has an advantage, you need to provide some reasoning. I'll take black every time. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. All right, players are moving a little more quickly than I'd like, but okay. At least they're not, well, playing instantly. All right, let's go back to this game. This was from reserve. But it looks like white could be pulling ahead in this one. We'll see. But anyway, going back to this one from championship, see what's going to happen. It looks like everybody's watching this game. Yeah, this is like that game of the tournament where everyone gathers around. This is not quite as exciting. It's a more virtual gathering, but oh well. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, definitely blacks made progress. They've pushed that pawn. Did it? I think it only went one space, but that's okay. And the white pawns, what did white do? They just like push these guys. I don't know. The white pawns don't really have a chance of becoming a passer. And in fact, they're pretty much locked down by this guy. Like black doesn't even need this guy. I agree. It's a good game. It's a tight game, right? I mean, isn't this the type of game you want? I would think. I mean, yeah, it's fun to crush your opponents or get them in an opening trap. And those are perfectly fine ways to win. But these are the types of games that make you a better player. Playing close games and really trying to win. Like I said, a lot of the times in tournaments, I was not the best player, but I think I wanted to win more than 99% of everybody else. And I think that helped me do better than perhaps my rating would indicate. I mean, sometimes I would get crushed too. I mean, that's no fun, but that's also part of the game, for better or for worse. Well, it's for worse, but still part of the game. So black needs to strike a balance here between helping their passed pawns, but also making sure they're not so focused on the D pawn that the white rook is able to, because it is faster than the other black pieces, the white rook can easily go to the other side of the board and maybe bother black's kingside pawns. So it's not an easy win by any means. And actually, I mean, it helps black that a lot of the action is on the king side slash center. There's nothing going on the queen side, so black doesn't have to worry about that. And the speed of the white rook is somewhat negated by the fact that the action is taking place in one area. Yeah. Oh man, I love that black's taking their time. Let me see. Where's this player ranked? Oh look, 2-0. So look, we have somebody who potentially could be undefeated, and they're taking their time. Good. Happened in this one. All right, so white's still up a pawn here. Just check real quick what's going on everywhere else. Okay, so in booster. Okay, next round is going to start momentarily. Oh, good job. Arthur's in first. Very good. Then we have a couple of our regulars. Got 2. All right. Oh, so okay. Yeah, and look, if you're not in the top, that's okay too. My advice, no matter where you are in the standings, whether you're first or not, go back over your games, even the games you won, even the games that were such bad losses you can barely stand to look at them, and try to learn, what you could do better for next time, or try to learn what your opponent did to beat you. Ooh, this is another close one. Yeah, Ojas. This guy's pretty good. All right. But yeah. So black was up a piece. White must have. Aha. White was able to win a rook. Oh, okay. Nice tactics. And good tactic for black to see a way out of that. Right? Black, could have thought, oh no, I'm pinned, game over. But instead he found rook b1. Very cool move. Yeah, overall, I've been impressed with the tactics for sure. Okay, so I think white's gonna win because they're up the exchange. And you know what it is? The black king is not very safe. But what did he do? Okay, so we'll go back. Oh, guys. I was like, you know what? The one thing I don't want to see is a draw. Hey, easier to say when I'm just watching the game, right? But I really think if you play this out, and this is to both players, even though white was in a worse position, still going to say this to white. I really think you should play out the position, try to win. All right. Well, that's that, I guess. So let's go to this game. Yeah, I think white's just winning though. So see if there's any close games. Oh, do these guys just start? So this is the final game. All right, Arthur and Dean, 2 of our regulars. All right, so Dean is doing this correctly. He plays d6, then he takes queen e2, queen e7. Now the knight can move back, and this is totally fine for black. Hold on. Don't want to just lose that pawn, though. Yeah, d5, probably not the best. Probably should just get castled and then play d5 later. Yeah, because now white is able to win this pawn. But it's okay, too, because black has some nice pressure. And because white spent time going after this guy, black has a lead in development. I don't know if it's going to be enough compensation, though. It might be. We'll see. Try to just go. Okay. So I was just looking at booster. Okay. All right, good. Huck found a good move. Wait, Huck's white, right? Yeah. Yeah, so who's the opener? Not sure. Yeah, a6. This move is too slow. You got to go like knight f6 or bishop e7, get yourself castled. If not, you leave yourself vulnerable to this type of attack. Knight on g5, bishop on c4. They attack your f7 pawn, and this pawn is really hard to protect in this position. So he went there. Good. Huck captures. Yeah, now the king is really unhappy. Okay. This one, I think white's just... Oh. This game is really crazy. I think white's winning here in the Suvi game, but I'm not sure. And looks like white's pulling ahead in the Leviathan 131 game. All right, so we got this game. We'll be keeping an eye on Arthur and Dean, and that's booster, and then reserve. Okay, they're gonna start their third game. So out of all the sections, reserve is taking their time the most. Kind of funny. You would think championship would have the longest games, but I don't know. We've done a few of these, and it seems like the people in reserve take their time the most. I don't know why. Oh, why am I just looking at this? Okay, so this round will start in about 90 seconds. In the meantime, this is the last. Okay, so championship will start their fourth and final round, about 90 seconds. And then this is the final round for first place in booster between Arthur, who's white, and Dean's black. Oh, what happened? Thought he had a... Oh, yeah, no, don't play bishop e7. That blocks your rook. Maybe just go bishop f8 or something. Because then when they castle, if white castles, then you can take the bishop. Okay, so this kind of lets white off the hook a little bit. I think it's okay. I mean, it's just a pawn. That pawn's nothing. Overall, I'm gonna say I've been pretty impressed. You know, I know some players have been practicing a lot. Some players haven't been able to practice as much. And these games are good. Getting a lot of really interesting tactics, openings, end games, of course. Yeah, I need to work on my end game also. A lot of great end game books out there. Where to start? Yeah, I have two recommendations for endgame books. Number one is Chess Endings, Essential Knowledge. I'm just gonna write this on the screen down here. So this, if like you've never really studied endgames before, this would be where I begin, or this would be the first book I'd get. Oh, geez. So this is by Averbach, really famous Russian author. For players who want something more advanced, it's going to be very challenging, but it's definitely worth it. Then of course, no, I hope I spelled that correctly. Dvoretsky's Endgame. Oh, geez, Endgame Manual. Well, I have the. All right, you guys get it. By Dvoretsky, who's also a very famous author and coach. So, no, now you can't see it. Maybe I can just. I think these books are available on Amazon. Just take a look for you guys. Ah, lovely. Ah, just as I remember. Okay, you can take a quick look. So I found it right on Amazon. Wow, it's kind of out of stock. Well, that's good. So it's like $12. Chess Endings, Essential Knowledge. Thin little book, but it'll take you far. It's really great. Probably read it 4 or 5 times when I was starting out. All right. Then so if you want something a little more hardcore, you can go. There's like 5 versions out. Doesn't really matter what version you get, to be honest. Dvoretsky's Endgame Manual, this big fat green book. I don't even know how many pages it is. Oh, wow. So don't be scared. I mean, you can use this book probably for the rest of your life. Oh, 4th edition. Oh, man. I don't know. Maybe don't get it from Amazon. Looks like it's really expensive for some reason. Or you can probably find an earlier edition. But anyway, everybody should have an endgame book. I mean, there's tons out there. So whatever one you feel comfortable with. Okay. Oh. So it looks like Dean actually dropped a piece, and then he was able to get it back. Oh, he set up this little trap. Yeah, okay. Right. Okay, he's trying to bring his rook around. That might be a little slow. Yeah, I think White's going to pull this one out. It's not over, but yeah. White maybe just has too many pawns. All right, so I'm going to assume White's going to win that one, but we'll see. Good. Okay, game's just started. All right, let's take a look at what's going on. Okay. Two of our semi-regulars. Okay, good. Nobody wants to fall for the 4-move checkmate. And I mean, I think Black's just now in a better position, better developed. The White Queen can be attacked. It's just my opinion, though. All right. What is this? Oh, championship. All right. Is there a game that's already over? Hope not. Oh, no, there is. Okay. What? Wait, what? Okay, I don't know. Maybe Black had to go or something. I don't know. All right. So 4 games in progress. Okay. The fact that these guys are on move 40 tells me what I need to know. This is a fascinating position. Wow. Oh, White. It might have been lost anyway, but now it's definitely lost. I mean, if you go king e2 earlier, at least you have a chance. Yeah, good move, Black. Okay. All right. Black has a queen anyway. Okay. This one looks like Black's up. These. Looks like this one is just started. So let's look at board 1. And I think, yeah. So Neo-Y, if they want to try to get first, has to win. Well, I should say Mira B. Probably is going to go for the win. Otherwise, they can't catch. I do. 7-1-1. And it's going to be tough. So, okay, cool. Wouldn't really call this an end game. More like a queenless middle game. And yeah, these are pretty hard to play for both sides. So cool. So wait, what? Booster. Well, Dean's not gonna make it easy. All right, Dean's hanging in there. What's going on? White's up the exchange. But black has some threats, so this is a fun one. So this is booster. This is championship. See if we can get a game from reserve going up. What was happening in reserve? All right, these guys, like, they're only on their third game. All right, this looks fun. Oh, did he blunder? Yeah, I mean, it happens. All right. Yeah, I mean, a lot of really close games. I guess we can look at this one. French, I'm guessing. Yeah. This one kind of just started. Looks pretty even. So oh, it looks like it was there a tactic. Okay, yeah, nice discovery. I don't know if it actually wins a pawn. Let's see. And then go into this game. Yeah, this one might be the most fun to look at. Let's see. Yeah, this one, black is able to take on c2. So they don't actually lose a pawn. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah, black wants to try to keep the queens on, maybe try to get better chances to attack. It's pretty tricky though, because black's king is not so happy either. Okay, so black stopped the mate threat. Okay. This one's still in the opening. So this one we'll call it the chess messy game, still in the opening. Oh, looks like maybe white just blundered and dropped a couple pieces. All right. So black should be in control, which means I do 711 is ready for first. And this one features a sacrifice. What? Oh, interesting. And then oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess as the tournament winds down, you get a little tired, you start to miss some of these tactics. Oh, looks like Arthur was able to win. Yeah, good game. Huck and Hangry Cat. Looks like Black's gonna pull ahead in this one. They're up a rook. All right, cool. So good job today, Booster. I think everybody put up a. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, just see this tournament as a place to see where you're at, see how you're doing, if you need to improve. Well, we all need to improve, but just go back over your games. You know, even if, like Arthur, you won all your games, you know, you can feel good about it, but still go back over them, see what you could have done better, and just try to improve. All right, Chess Messi still in the opening. All right, Black accepted the sacrifice. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, it's important that they're able to take the knight. Obviously, don't take the rook. Get checkmated for one thing. And White may just not have enough attackers, considering they only have one attacker. So even though the queen is very strong, she still needs backup. All right, we'll see. Yeah, good move, White. Good move. Bring another piece into the game with tempo. Attacks the queen. And I shouldn't forget to mention, White does have 3 pawns for the piece, so it's actually pretty close. Like, even if the attack doesn't work, it's still going to be an interesting endgame. Okay, going back to Chess Messi. All right, looks close, looks close. Anything else going on, sir? White's up, White's up. Looks like White's winning and, well, all right, hold on. Okay, White is up. Black has some initiative and at least is shutting everything down for the moment. I don't know, we'll see. Can Black save himself? Oh no! Oh, that's right. This was the White tried the very deep strategy of 4-move checkmate. I could have sworn this was a Sicilian, but then I remembered this was that game. Go back to this one. Yeah, white's attack's getting kind of scary. This is in championship. I mean, black is trying to do their own thing. I don't know. It might be a little slow. Yeah. Yeah, that knight was needed there to protect that square. Good game, guys. Okay. For too close. Rook f3. Or what did he do? Oh, he went a4 first. Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, you don't want to let black take and then, open up this file. So he shut things down, brings the rook up. And this is from championship. Okay. So this is the last, I think this is the last game in championship. All right, this is the last one in championship. There's a couple games still going in reserve, round 3, but white was up. And then finally, I think booster is done. Let's take a look. Oh no, there's still one game going. All right, Hook's hanging in there. I don't know. So one game left. Looks like Arthur's the winner. Congrats. Levy Ashen 131, second place. And then tie for third. All right, cool. All right. It's actually, I want to go back to this game. But see, this is a hard fought game. It's a game where I can tell both players really want to win. And they know it's not going to be easy. Yeah, it looks like a pretty powerful rook. Yeah, it's very double-edged. There's threats for both sides. Yeah, I was looking at that sack too, but then queen g4. Might have been best. That might be best. Oh my gosh. That might have been white's best try though, because black had just a lot of threats. All right, there you go. Black goes for the win. They're not content with just repeating moves. Yeah, good to see that. All right, let's go here for a second. So even position. I don't know. I mean, black owns the center, but if white can like clamp down on some of these center squares, white will be better. Black also has the two bishops. I don't know. This one may take a while. We'll see. All right. So what did he do? He checked him. Yeah, makes sense. And then tapped the queen. Okay. All right. So, well, all right. Let's stay here a little longer. Black is up a rook. All right. So we'll come back here. Pretty exciting game. Oh, they're the last game. Think booster I know had. All right, Huck hung in there. Yeah, black, they did what they could. That's a check though. Okay, so this is the last game there. We may have to have three tabs open. This is one of the last games in reserve. And finally, we will go back to that championship game. Okay, so this is the this is the last game in booster. This is the last game in championship. So it looks like, these games are close to being decided. But, wouldn't be surprised if weird things end up happening. Yeah, this game's kind of weird. And, okay, what's going on? White's up a couple pawns. Black has a passed E pawn. Yeah, I feel like white should be doing well here. Black can't quite get their pawns rolling. And I think reserve still has one round to go, but championship and booster should be done. Okay, black decides to move this knight out. Take a quick look. Okay, not much has changed. Yeah, so white's up a queen, but they have to worry about this pawn because it's so close to the end. So that can be tricky. And then the pawn is also protected. So it's a pretty goofy game. Yeah, okay, yeah, I was worried, well, white's just gonna take this. So I wasn't sure what black was trying to do. We'll find out. Or maybe he just didn't want to keep passively defending. And this one. All right, so let's watch this one a little bit. Just because it's such a weird situation. It's the type of game you'd much rather watch than have to play it. Yeah, so white trades pawns, definitely the right thing to do. Yeah, looks like the king was going to come over and get the pawn, so black just decides, I'll just try it, I guess. Get a queen, see if he takes it. So let's take a quick look at Ojas. Okay. I mean, black's struggling, but it's hanging in there. So what was, oops, sorry. What was the plan? Oh, the bishop moved, okay. Oh, okay. How did they trade? Ah, he forced the trade of queens. Okay, and so this should be fairly simple for black. All right, white, and this should be simple for white. Let's see. Okay, let's see white do this. Yeah, I mean, good to see white kind of slow down. You know, even if you're totally winning, you don't want to mess up like on the last move, right? You still want to take your time. The win is still going to be there, you know, 5 minutes later. No reason to rush it. All right, very good. Illustrating a common technique. The queens alternate checks, forcing the king to the edge. And checkmate. All right, good game, guys. All right. So booster has concluded. Congratulations to everybody. I believe championship. Oh, right. Well, we still have to wait for that one. Latest champion. Oh, wait, no. Oh, no. Well, it looks like Black's going to win this one. How did that happen? Oh, yeah, I think the bishop should have stayed on e3. It, yeah, it just wasn't close enough. All right. Good game. White's up 2 pawns, but black has definite compensation. Very active pieces. You guys know I love the knight on f4. Even without the queens on the board, still have chances for an attack. Yeah, these bishops doing something. We got the knight doing something. Got the rook on an open file. So definite compensation. We'll see if it's enough. Yeah, I was looking at that tactic. Yeah, white decides to take. I mean, I don't really see much in the way of alternatives. So black gets a pawn back, trying to open the king up. I mean, at the same time, white's pretty safe. Yeah, it looks like everyone's waiting for this one to end, then they can start their next game. And it's a pretty entertaining game to watch as well. So white's still up a pawn though. And like I said, they're pretty safe for the moment. Yep, bishop pair as well. So black has definite compensation. Yeah, I mean, these games are a lot of fun because it's an imbalance, meaning each side has different advantages. White has a material advantage, and black has the advantage of the bishop pair and the open white king. Take a quick look, see if the other game's finished. Okay. All right, congrats to everybody here. What happened in this game? Oh wow, so black was forced to mate with king and rook, but it looks like he knew how to do it, so it's good. All right, well, congrats again to the winners. Okay, so not much has changed, which honestly is kind of nice given how some of these positions were changing so fast. I couldn't even keep up, let alone find the best move, or at least try to find the best move. So glad to see these guys taking their time. Now, with that said, the thing, White still has a lot of time with 7 minutes, but the bigger problem is that they're so far behind on time compared to Black. Black has more than double their time, about 2.5 times their time. You don't want to get too far behind on time compared to your opponent. You want to at least be aware of where they're at. So maybe White wants to go a little bit faster. Though this was an important move. Definitely understand taking time here. Hmm. Okay, both players playing pretty well. Yeah, I still think fun. Um, oops, make sure I got the right position. Okay. I don't know. It's a hard position for both sides, honestly. Like, I'm trying to decide who I'd rather be here, and I don't know. I'd rather be watching the game than playing it. So I'm pretty happy because that's what I'm doing. There we go. I was waiting for that rook to come into the game. Yeah. What is this? Yeah, yeah. I think everyone's watching this game being like, when will the next one start? Oh man, it's really interesting. Yeah, rook f5, also waiting for that move. Because, well, I don't know. Yeah, white's rook wasn't so great. And I feel like it helps white to trade off some pieces. The only reservation I have, thinking for white is white's pieces just aren't that great. They're not really working together. So I don't know. Let's see what black decides to do here. In fact, nobody's pieces are that great in the sense that they're not really working together. They look active, but it's like, you know, like what's it really doing? I do kind of like these guys actually because at least they're taking away squares from the rook. Like it's tempting to try to swing the rook over, but that's not going to really happen right now. Not close. Yeah, like I mean, white still has plenty of time. The bigger issue is the time difference between the two. So at a critical moment, black's going to have more than double the time to think, or I guess it's exactly double the time. All right, see what Chess Messi can come up with. Okay. We see white moving a little bit faster. Just a little. Yeah, bishop e4, f3. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if e3, not e3, f3 was the best because it weakens, the e3 square. So now the bishop can go there and support its pawn and be protected by the d pawn. And black takes the c pawn. So now the d pawn is passed. Yeah. So instead, let's just go back quick. Instead of f3, maybe, I don't know, like bishop b3. So maybe knight h4 also wasn't so good. Because it doesn't actually fork bishop and pawn because of this move. Yeah. Yeah, it's always dangerous to move your pieces to the edge. Right. So now I think black has a clear advantage. But there's still work to do. Uh, yeah, I feel like this game somewhat makes up for all the end games people were playing as fast as possible. Yeah, I mean it's not like one side's up a queen and the game is taking forever. Like it's just very close. Okay, brings the king in for support. All right, see what black's gonna do with this. Yep. All right, so if you're watching this after this game's over, the final round will start 2 minutes from then. So stick close to your computers. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it could come down to just one mistake, especially now that time is getting low. That can be tricky. They do get 5 seconds after they move, right? So you're not really in danger of running out of time because you can always gain time. All right, let me just make sure that's right. Yeah, okay. So black saves their bishop. But now I think their bishop gets kind of shut out of play. Okay, so good news for white then. Yeah. I think he's got to do that. Oh, okay. Yeah, white has to do that. Mhm. Yeah, the two bishops are ferocious. Hey, I see you using my comments in the Lee Chess chat, Alana. Try and take credit for my insights. Yeah, I mean, white's doing the best she can, but it kind of came down to that knight h4 move. You know that one game that still hasn't finished in the tournament? It's just like the two players in the empty playing hall. Yeah, this is what that is like. All right, I think yeah, rook e6 is a pretty good move. You know, he doesn't settle for just, trading pieces. Just gonna check the pairings. Um, okay, so both these players are 1-1. All right, yeah, I mean, black won the second piece, so this should be decisive. Hey. All right, I'll be right back. All right, very good game, both players. Good job. Good. Josh is in first, and then a bunch of people right behind him, I believe. Okay, okay. All right, good luck, everybody. Take your time. Okay, so Mochi get low. You got to play against Ojas. Let's go. Here, let's do it this way. All right, got a lot of E4, E5. Well, one E4, E5. Sicilian, unclear yet what this is going to be. Probably Chess Messi's taking a short break before he starts. Cool, another E4, E5. Yeah, seen a lot of Italian games. E4, E5, Knight F3, Bishop C4. Doesn't get more classic than that. That was the first opening I played. I mean, plenty of grandmasters still play the Italian game. You can play it for the rest of your life. Oh, oh, come on, these two. Will Black find? Well, what will Black do against Chess Messi? And what will White do in the Cyrus and Heuristic Mind game? Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, nice C6. Little unusual. Okay. Oh, White decided to castle. Yeah, so instead, Knight G5 is the beginning of the fried liver attempt to target F7. That leads to some really fun play. Yeah, this one. Wait, no, not this one. This one on board one. I noticed that here Black needs to cover the D5 square, maybe by going Bishop E6. Instead, he castles, and that allows White to get this nice attack. They force open the king, and now there's like an open file to the king. It's a little dangerous. So yeah, let's just hang out here for a little bit, see what Ojas comes up with, and if Mochi can defend. Yeah, I recognize both of these guys from our classes. Really good players. Yeah, I mean, I think this exchange actually benefits Black because now this rank is a little more open for them, so it's easier to maybe, defend along this rank. Because, before it's like if you want to protect this square, it's a little hard to do that. But now that the rank is open, it's easier to protect. And as well, the F5 square is covered. So I think it's not as good for White to do this trade. But let's see. They may have had their reasons. All right, white's going for it all. Yeah, that's force, more or less. Interesting move. And so white's going to get the piece back. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, good. That's the best thing to do. Yeah, I like the tactics here. All right, we'll go back. Let's see if there's any end games that I can criticize. Just kidding. We might get some end games. Yeah, it looks like, things are pretty close. Did these guys? Okay. Okay, maybe white had to go or something. All right. Or, I don't know. Hmm, weird. All right, let's go back to Ojas. A really interesting position has arisen where we have another type of imbalance. White has the open G file to try to attack black's king, while black has a strong knight and good center control. Two pawns versus the one white pawn, and then the D file. So this is great. This is just what we want to see in the last round. Really tough battles. So we'll check out the other games in just a second. Oh, this game ended. Oh, okay. Yeah, Black had a hidden checkmate there. All right, looks like White's up. Oops. Okay, Black's up a couple pawns. Yeah, it looks like Black's pretty much in control, but it's still close. Yeah, this one's also really close. Black does have they play G6, a little bit of a weakness, but I mean, this bishop is buried. It is not coming out to help anytime soon. Not that this bishop is so great either. Um, so it looks pretty close. White would love to try to swing a rook over, but all the entry points are pretty much shut down. Sorry. All right, so got a lot of good games, a lot of close games. There we go. Must not updated. So I would say the Tony Boss has a close game, and then the old Joss game is also really close. All right, well, it's board one. This is the game everybody wants to see. Yeah, so that's the whole, a lot of white strategy has revolved around getting the queen here. Like, if you guys remember, that was the whole point of the sacrifice. Here, if black had taken with the pawn, then, oops, yeah, just try to ignore that. Then the queen comes out here and delivers checkmate. So that's why he had to take with the knight, and all this happened. Yeah, maybe this queen a5 move wasn't great because now the queen is like totally out of the defense, and white has some powerful threats. Mm-hmm. Oops, sorry. What did I just do? All right, Mochi's got a big decision. Hmm. Yeah, I was like, man, connected pass pawns. Ah, yep, that's a pretty good move. Over here, yeah, it's pretty closed up. Okay, yeah, I mean, black's up a pawn, but white's rooks are just so beautiful. Kind of makes up for this bishop here. All right. Yeah. Let's see what did Mochi do? He carried on. All right. Can Mochi survive? Well, definitely not what Black wants. This kind of shows the danger of, Black was sort of charging forward with their own idea, going d4, take c3, and maybe not giving enough importance to their opponent's threats. By ignoring their opponent, um, they got into a pretty tough spot. Yeah, I mean that's one way to do it. Probably a force mate after like queen g5 or something too. Whatever. Well, doing that. All right, well, looks like white's on top and on track to win the section. Okay, yeah, black's on top. White's on top. White's on top. Yeah, so all these games seem actually pretty close to concluding. Maybe not simple wins, but a large enough advantage to be called winning in all the remaining games. Um, it's been really cool getting to see your guys' games. You know, it definitely gives me a lot of ideas for, you know, my own students, what to talk about. And it's great to see, you know, we had a lot of players play in this tournament who also take our classes. So we have classes every every day of the week, Monday to Thursday. You know, Monday is more for our beginners, and then Tuesday is for the intermediate group. So actually, Arthur's in that class, and he got first. So good job. I'll mention it on Tuesday. Wednesday is our most advanced group, and then Thursday is uh, in between intermediate and advanced, I guess you could say, our Rising Stars class, and that's for players around you know 500 to 1,000 rated. In our advanced class, we have players 1,000 to 1,500. Oh, that's right. And then I almost forgot. How silly. Ojas just recently joined our Thursday class, and it looks like he won his section. So, so we have good representation from the classes. I mean, I'd love to take complete credit for their performance, but obviously, in the end, it's all them. So, congratulations and congrats to everyone who participated. And you know, I hope to see you guys back for another tournament or for a class, or just you know whenever maybe tournaments are in person. I'll see some of you guys there. Yeah. So again, you know, my name's Abby. Been really cool seeing all the games, and hope to see you guys soon.